Good morning, everybody, and welcome to an almost record-breaking weekend here in Austria. This is round 5 of the 2022 Italian F4 Championship, powered by Arbath and, of course, presented by WSK Promotion. I say almost record-breaking because we're just 3 short of the all-time entry list in the Italian series, the world's most competitive junior motor racing series. We've got 40 cars here this weekend, and in just a moment we will race for the third of 4 times. Our regular viewers may be expecting 3 races, but this weekend we have 4. Such is the grid as you look at the pole sitter and the championship leader, the Mercedes Junior Andrea Antonelli out of grid 1. We've had to divide the category into multiple groups. We're racing effectively 3 heats this weekend. We raced twice yesterday. Alex Dunn and Andrea Kimi Antonelli taking the first 2 victories. This is effectively the 3rd heat, or race 3, and then the best 36 out of 40 to race 4 this afternoon. This is the grid. Antonelli out of pole, Ugo out of 2, Casper out of 3, alongside Taylor Barnard for the Kings England, Conrad Lawson, Alfio Spina, Maya Werg, Nikhil Bora, Charlie Wirtz, Martini Stensone, Valerio Rinicella, and William Carlson. Alexander Partishev, the Ukrainian, lines up alongside the Russian Nikita Bedrin, Kim Hwa-reng and Zachary David. Valentin Klus is alongside the Nicaraguan Dane, Frederick Lund for RSGP. Marcus Aman, Ethan Isha, Emma is back on 21, Victoria Blocchina, Giorgio Marchegianis, and Andrea Frasinetti for Cars Racing. Francisco Soldovini, Ishmael Ahmed, and Jane Rishab on the final grid position. As we get ready for a start here. Great to have your company for race 3 of the weekend, the 5th round of the 2022 championship. Just getting word from race control that Valerio Rinicella, the Roman, may have an electrical issue. He did a great job yesterday. We'll start on grid 11. He is on the circuit, halfway down the right side of the grid as the 30-second board goes up. It is a 25-minute plus 1 lap race. And I hate to say it, but we are expecting rain partway through the journey here this morning. Antonelli to the right of your screen. Ugo making his debut in the Italian series, lying 3rd in the British F4 series. He's the driver from New York, USA, as the green flag flies and Antonelli lights up the rear Pirelli tyres to lead the field around on the formation lap. William Carlson gets going, just ahead of Alexander Partishev, Nikita Bedrin, Kim Hwa-reng, Zachary David, the Filipino driver. 25 nations represented in this, the world's most competitive junior motor racing series, which held its inaugural championship back in 2014. Won by the Canadian Lance Stroll for the Prema Power team. The team from Vicenza, who have just wrapped up the FIA Formula 3 Championship. earlier this morning at Monza, where we race in a few weeks' time the penultimate round of the series. Prema have also virtually wrapped up the Teams Championship in the Italian F4 Series as well. They lock out the front row of the grid with the Italian and the American, Antonelli and Ugochukwu. Ismail Ahmed coming through, Valerio Rinicella. In fact, it was Valerio in 38. Ahmed, his teammate in car 36 for AKM Motorsport. On a dry circuit, but a very cold morning. It was only 6 or 7 degrees this morning. Certainly summer is over here in Europe. For the moment, the sun is shining. The track is dry, a little bit of rubber starting to go down on the circuit after torrential rains over the last few days. There's Charlie Wirtz, the Austrian, on his home circuit, home round of the series. And expecting a big result from Martinius Stenson. What a drive for the all-road management driver yesterday, the Norwegian, trying to follow in the footsteps of Dennis Hauger, who took the title for Van Amersfoort Racing in 2019. There's Meyer Werg, starts out at grid 7. The Ferrari Academy junior driver. Martinius yesterday, a puncher in the opening stages, fell back to 21st and fought back superbly to finish in P6. There is Mart, the Norwegian, just ahead of the Roman Valerio Rinicella. William Carlson in the yellow and black machine. BDM Racing with 3 cars this weekend, Prema Power Team with 6. 40 cars arriving at the home of the Austrian Grand Prix for round 5 of 7 of the 2022 Italian F4 Championship. We wait for the final drivers to line up on the grid. There is Francisco Soltavini, the Argentine from Cordoba, making his car racing debut this weekend for Maffi Racing. Hemo Fittipaldi further back on the grid. His father Emerson watching on live from Monza, where they're celebrating the 50th anniversary of his Formula One World Championship back in 1972. The Prema Power Team already with one hand on the team's trophy. Watch on from pit lane. The green flag at the back of the grid, the 5 red lights, race 3, round 5, the Italian F4 Championship here at the Red Bull Ring, and we race. Great start from Antonelli. The same cannot be said for Kasper Stuka, who's fallen back behind Taylor Barnard. Another fantastic start for the Brit. He goes up into position 3 for PHM Racing. Meyer Werg runs wide at the exit of the Niki Lauda turn 1. Charlie Wirtz follows him through, as does Valentino Klus, as they race up the field for the first time. What a start for Taylor. They're 3 wide further back in the pack. Antonelli in position 1, under attack as Taylor locks up around the outside, tries to take Ugo, and Barnard runs off the road. Fantastic start by, it looks to be one of the BBM racing cars, Alfio Spinner. Superb performance by Il Siciliano as the Prema Power Team drivers go side by side. Taylor down the inside. At the end of the back straight, Nikhil Borda trying to make his way through, the second American, the second driver from New York, USA, running inside the top 6 in the opening stages of this race. Taylor Barnard tries to get the run. There's Kasper trying to recover from not the best start. William Carlson going through further back in the pack. Taylor down the inside, tries to take second place away from the American. Meyer just ahead of Nikita. A clean start for race 3 for the moment. Round 5 of the championship. There is Soldavini on the outside. Nikita Vedran trying to make up places. He's already done that in the opening stages of the opening lap of race 3 here this morning. Also Taylor Barnard for PHM Racing. Valentin Klus runs wide, but it is Antonelli who leads them across the line for the first time. Taylor up into second place, Ugo. Then Kasper. There's Meyer, she's under attack from Nikita Vedran. Fantastic start from the PHM Racing driver. Valerio Rinicella going through. There's William Carlson going wheel to wheel with the Ukrainian Alexander Partichev. Vedran under attack from Werg. The Ferrari Junior tries the outside line. There's grip off line as Ugo is finding, but that's too far. At the end of turn 3, Charlie Wirtz on his home circuit. Position 6, the 4th Prema Power team driver as Hugo goes wheel to wheel with Kasper Stuka. Side by side, down the back straight. Kasper's on the inside. Move down the inside from Charlie Wirtz, tries to make it through. In fact, it's Conrad Lawson, the Great Dane on the inside of the pole. Fantastic pass from Conrad. There's Alfio Spinner in the background trying to drag himself into this battle. Kasper's going to run out of road, has to concede the place. Track limits, no such thing when you simply put a gravel trap, and it's self-policing here at the Red Bull Ring. There is Martinez, tucked in behind the second American, Nikhil Border. Maya were going through, that was Alexander Partishev. There is Valentin Plus. In the kite machine for Jensen Motorsport, Martinez on the inside of Maya. Nikhil Border just ahead. Maya does not flinch, holds her nerve, and leads the Norwegian as they come across the line for the second time. We'll check the order. Antonelli, he's already gone. Taylor in second place. Conrad in P3 in car 20 for the Prema Power team. Then we go to Kasper, Hugo, Charlie, Alfio Spinner. Fantastic run from Alfio in qualifying, P5 in his group on Friday afternoon. A DNF in the first race, though, needs a good result here this morning. Conrad going wheel to wheel with Kasper. Car 3 is Hugo. Not the best start for the American, as it was yesterday, but he fought back superbly to finish on the podium. Kasper Stuka now on the outside. He's got the run on Conrad Lawson. Behind is Charlie Wirtz, Hugo Ukachukwu. The two Prema Power teammates going wheel to wheel. And there is Il Siciliano, Alfio Spinner, car 9 for BVM Racing. Antonelli with 1.3 seconds over Taylor Barnard for PHM Racing as Conrad has to defend from Kasper. Nikita Bedran going through from Nikhil Border, Martinez Densone, Meyerwerg, Marcus Aman, Il Romano, Valerio Rimicella in the opening stages of race 3 here at the Red Bull Ring this morning. William Carlson ahead of Valentin Plus. Partishev has dropped back to 16th ahead of Kim Hwa Ring, and already making up a few places is Emo Fittipaldi Jr. Is Maya going through ahead of Valerio, Marcus. William Carlson, Valentin Plus. There's Partishev for Jensen Motorsport. They start lap 4. Antonelli, Barnard, the gap is 1.3 seconds, a 1:32.14 last time around for the championship leader, who is, give me a moment, I have to count the victories. He has taken, what, 6 in a row? 9. This would be his 10th win if he could pull it off this morning. He took his 9th yesterday. It was his 7th consecutively. A star performer, the Mercedes-AMG Junior in 2023. Andrea Kimi Antonelli will be racing in the... Stay tuned. Kasper Stuka on the outside, and will have to hold position because the safety car has come out onto the circuit. This is the reason why at the final corner, a wild ride for the Greek, Giorgio Markogiannis for Krem Motorsport. Smack into the wall. Wow, that was actually a very big hit. Jane Rishab, apologies, it was the other Krem Motorsport car. Jane Rishab is parked on the circuit after belting the wall at the exit of the second Jochenring curve. Grabs the Armco, the left rear destroyed, the left front destroyed as well, as is the front of the cars destroyed. Jane Rishab, car 29 for Krem competition. And the safety car is deployed. So the lead of 1.4 seconds between Antonelli and Taylor Barnard evaporates as they go past the stricken car of the Singaporean. It'll be tough for Jane Rishab to line up for race 4, the final this afternoon, assuming they can repair the car. Extensive damage to pretty much all 4 corners of car 29 for Krem competition. Jane Rishab's race is over in spectacular fashion here this morning. So let's check the order as we tick over 7 minutes of race 3 this morning. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Taylor Barnard, Conrad Lawson, 1, 2, 3. Then Kasper Stuka didn't get the best start, but he's starting to fight back, or was. when Jean Richard hit the wall. Ugo, not the best start from the outside second row of the grid, the same as yesterday. He's fallen back to P5, was wheel-to-wheel with his teammate Charlie Burtz. Car 7 in position 6. There is Ugo going through. The driver from New York, USA, as Jean Richard steps out of the 29 Cran competition car. Good to see the Singaporean driver is okay. The car is not. Big damage for Jean's car. Didn't have a great run yesterday either. 4 drivers will miss race 4 this afternoon. And it does not look good for Jean Richard, 27th at DNF, and gets 0 points from this. The final 36 to race 4 this afternoon. The safety car leads the field through pit lane as the marshal of the safety team go to work here at the Red Bull Ring. The most beautiful circuit in Europe, if not the world, here in the Styrian Mountains. Great to see the public back after well, they weren't here last year, we'll just leave it at that, for reasons of, you know why. Antonelli leads the field down through pit lane. Taylor in second place for PHM Racing. Going to work quickly, the marshals this time, copping a lot of criticism in the Austrian Grand Prix when Carlos's car, well, virtually burnt to the ground. Almost. Quick into action this morning, which is, well, good to see. Antonelli, Barnard, Conrad Larsen. Jean Richard's car is off the circuit as they clean the debris. Take a look at this. Ren wide at the exit of the Jochenring curve. Tried to keep his foot flat, not lose too much time, but in the end loses the car smack against the Armco. And there's a drive shaft. Goes out of the back of the car, dislodged, and goes rolling down the circuit. Comes out from underneath the car. In fact, it's one of the axles, it looks like. Jean Richard is out of the race. The car has already been cleaned off the circuit. That's good to see, finally. Ismail Ahmed, car 36, and his teammate, Valerio Rinicella, the Roman, former Card Republic team driver. He's in position 13 at the moment, just ahead of William Carlson, who's made a good start. So the safety car will pull into pit lane at the end of this lap. The lead of 1.4 seconds between Antonelli and Barnard is now 0. Antonelli backs the field up. The freight train comes down the hill. Prema 1, 3, 5 and 6. And in amongst them, the US racing car of Casper in P4. Taylor in second place. The German team, the British driver here in Austria. Taylor Barnard tries to get the run. There is Nikita Bedrin on the back of Alfio's spinner as the safety car pulls into pit lane. Taylor glued to the back of Antonelli. A good restart by Barnard does not let Antonelli get away. The green flag flies, and once again we race in the Italian F4 Championship. Super start from Taylor Barnard. Debris on the back of the circuit, courtesy of Jean Richard smacking the wall a few moments ago. Taylor Barnard in second place as Meyer has to defend from Marcus, the French Finn who was on the podium at Imola in the season opener. Meyer Werg holds on to the place. Marcus Amann back behind in position 12 ahead of the Roman. Valerio Rinicella, who's under attack himself from the Swede William Carlson. Taylor around the outside of Antonelli. There's grip on the outside. Has to get out of the throttle. Almost makes contact. In fact, he does. Taylor's lost the front wing. Oh, no, 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 no! The driver from the Kings England, who was threatening the back of the championship leader, has a broken front wing, but he dives down the inside. Antonelli's got no steering. The front right has collapsed. The championship leader is in the gravel and out. What a sensation here at the Red Bull Ring. Taylor does not lift. Casper will inherit the lead if he can hold off. Not one, not two, but three Prema Power Team drivers. Here comes Conrad in car 20. Ugo, an intelligent drive. And then Charlie on his home circuit The third of the red and white machines just ahead of the Sicilian Alfio Spinner. Antonelli, look at the front right. It looks as though it's collapsed. Tries to bring it back to pit lane. Taylor Barnard, he's still in the race. He's a sitting duck though. The front wing is broken. Watch this at the top of the hill. Taylor Barnard runs deep, the front right. Oh, smack. Dear oh dear. 1 and 2 come together. Possibly a puncher for Antonelli. We thought it was the front right with damage, but it may actually be something as simple as a left rear puncher. We'll keep one eye on the championship leader who went straight ahead into the gravel. In fact, Antonelli is coming down into pit lane. Barnard's still out on the circuit, but he'll have a mechanical defect flag issued in just a moment. Spinner in trouble as he runs into the back of Charlie. A sensational race which leaves Kasper Stuger in first place. Taylor Barnard with no front wing now under attack. Conrad down the inside. Taylor's got no steering. The left rear Pirelli of Antonelli is destroyed. The Prema Power team go to work. They'll be praying for a safety car to get him back into the race. Taylor Barnard's dropping down through the order. The safety car is out. Antonelli, well, it's not over yet, and the Sicilian for the second race in a row. Hugely disappointing for Il Siciliano. Take a look at this at the top of the hill. Taylor Barnard going straight ahead. Oh, Spinner into Charlie Wirtz. Charlie continues on. Alfio does not. The Southern Italian is out. The Austrian continues on. And they'll get a chance to look at car 7. Watch this from Alfio Spinner. Ooh, ambitious, let's just call it that. Nikita Bedrin goes through. Picks up a place. And from grid 15, Bedrin's up into P4. Kasper Stuger down the inside of Taylor Barnard, who could not steer the front of the 77 machine. And Kasper Stuger, P1 for US Racing. Spinner is out. First time with the BPM Racing team. He was P5 in qualifying in his group. A DNF yesterday and a DNF this morning. That's going to be tough. As Taylor Barnard, a front wing of the PHM team. That was smart work. He won't lose too much. We'll see where he does rejoin. Every point counts just to make it through to the final this afternoon. So Antonelli and Barnard, it's not over yet. 10 minutes plus 1 lap left on the clock here. Race 3, round 5, the Italian F4 Championship. Powered by Arbath, presented by WSK Promotion. Our second journey outside of the home nation of Italy. The most competitive junior motor racing series in the world, with 40 drivers here this weekend. Has not even given us a chance, the race yet, to look out the window and check the weather. We did have a forecast for rain around about now. For the moment, the track is still dry. There is Nick Gilborder, car 44, right behind Martinez. Smart start from Mart. He's in P5 for Van Amersfoort Racing, who took the title in 2021 with Ollie Bierman, who's just finished, P3 for the Prema Power team in the FIA Formula 3 Championship. Back in form, VAR, at the tail end of the 2022 season. It has not been a good year for the Dutch team. The safety car leads them around one more time. We'll take a look at the order. At least one more lap under safety car. Kasper Stuger is the race leader. Not a good start, but the pole has driven an intelligent race up until this point, avoided the carnage, and he's in P1. Conrad Larsen looking for his first victory of 2022. Ugol, again, like yesterday, fell back to P5, works his way into P3. Nikita Bedrin. Wow, what a start. From grid 15, car 15, position 4. Martinez Tensone, P5. The second New Yorker, that's Nick Gilborder, P6. Charlie, car 7, position 7. After being smacked by Spinner. Marcus Amand, P8. Meyerwerk, P9. William Carlson for BVM Racing. He's still in the race. The Swede just ahead of the Roman, Valerio Rinicella. Then it's Klus, Partishev, Emo Fittipaldi from grid 21. Good drive from Emo Jr. Zachary David, Kim Wareng, the second remaining BVM Racing car. Victoria Blockina also for BHM Racing. Giorgio Marco Janis, whose teammate belted the wall and brought out the first safety car. Frederick Lund Soldovini, the young Argentine, his second ever car race. Frasinetti, Isha, Ahmed. Taylor Barnard has rejoined. He's in position 24. Antonelli, P25. In fact, they'll just catch up to the tail end of the field as the safety car prepares to pull into pit lane. This time, Stuka will lead them up to the line and race to the checkered flag. US Racing leads two Prema Power Team cars. And then Nikita Bedram for PHM Racing, who took a victory at Paul Ricard in 2021 for Van Amersfoort Racing. The first VAR car in P5 in the form of Mart. There's Carlson with the Roman, Riccella right behind. Lawson tries to stay with Casper, but a smart restart from Casper Stuka. The green flag is flying here on the start-finish straight. Already a nice lead by Casper Stuka, car 37. The pole for the German team here in Austria in round 5 of the Italian Championship leads them across the line. Martinez and Nikita. It's WSK World Cup Racing all over again. Nikita Bedran, formerly for the Ward Racing Tony Kart team, and Martinez for the Lennox Racing Charles Leclerc team, as Valentin Klus virtually runs the Ukrainian Partishev into the grass up the hill. Bedran and Stensone go side by side as the Prema Power Team drivers fight. Conrad in 20, Ugo in 3. Bedran up the inside of Stensone. There's Conrad on the inside, Casper's gone. Super restart from Casper Stuka as the two Prema Power Team drivers both get the slipstream just in the background. Stensone dives down the inside, tries to send it and take Bedran. Good restart once again from Charlie Bird, so it looks as though the car 7 is okay. This is the restart just a few moments ago. Riccella running wide. Watch Valentin Klus as Partishev loses the front wing. He's in the grass, and the Jensen Motorsport driver in all sorts of trouble in the dying stages of race 3. Stuka 1.2 seconds ahead of Conrad Lawson. Ugo right behind him. There is Nikita. Charlie breathing down his neck. Nikhil Border, Meyer Work, the Ferrari junior driver ahead of Marcus Amand and William Carlson. The gap 1.1 seconds between Casper Stuka and Conrad Lawson. Riccella, that's Valentin Klus up the inside. The Kite Jensen Motorsport team driver tries to go on through and he takes the Roman. Nicely done by VK. There's Frederick Lund for RHGP as well. Riccella tries to fight back. Emo Fittipaldi on the charge. There is the boy from Brazil. He gets the toe. Dives down the middle of the circuit as Martinez takes the place away from Bedran once again. Charlie right behind. Riccella's off the road. This is a frantic race here this morning. Partishev has pulled down into pit lane as Bedran locks up the brake on the outside of Stensone. There's Charlie Bird's car 7 will get the run. The PHM Racing team driver, the Jensen Motorsport team, who took the title in 2016 with the Argentine Marcus Siebert, who is here at the circuit. They go to work, quickly replacing the front wing of Alexander Partishev. Wow, a big moment there for William Carlson, hangs on to it. Loses time to Marcus Amand, who's now inside the top 10. Nicely done by William. Holds on to 10th place in the dying stages of the race. Nikhil Border now under attack from Maya Werg. The Dutch-Belgian girl from Costa Blanca in Spain, the Ferrari Junior Car 83. There is the Iron Dame with the French Finn right behind Casper. Marcus's teammate P1 and 1.1 seconds ahead of Conrad. Taylor Barnard around the outside. What a recovery. He's up into 17th place. Make that 16th as he goes around and takes his teammate Victoria Blochina. Helped by the safety car. A new front wing. Super stop from the PHM Racing team. They're 2 wide, they're 3 wide, they're 4 wide as they go up the hill. Barnard around the outside. Runs off the road. There is Victoria. The two Prema Power Team drivers go side by side as Conrad locks up the brake And again, another intelligent drive from Ugo, exactly what he did yesterday. Fell back to 5th off the start, held his nerve, did not panic. He's back into 2nd place in car 3. The gap is now more than 1.2 seconds to the race leader. It'll be more than that when they come across the split next time as they fight amongst themselves. 1.5 seconds, in fact. Conrad dives down the inside, locks up the front rider, correction. No problem, says Ugo. And the New Yorker back down the inside. Cuts back and takes P2. Quickly trying to calculate how many laps remaining. 2 minutes plus 1 lap. So we expect there to be 2 at the end of this one. Our regular viewers will know that my mathematics is less than 4, so don't count me on that. Maya Word going through ahead of Marcus Amand. There's Valentin Plus in the Kaif Jensen Motorsport team. 1 position outside the top 10. Martinez, P4, car 34 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Put right up to the back of the 2 Prema Power Team cars. Nikhil Porter going through in 44. Maya Work, 83. She's in position 8. The Iron Dame, just ahead of Marcus Amand. Race winner in the opening round of the series. Sorry, on the podium, it was Kasper Stuka, his teammate, who took victory along with Alex Dunn in the opening round. And Kasper, for the moment, it looks as though it'll be his 2nd victory of the season. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of the battle for 2nd place. Fantastic drive from Nikita Bedrin, who's still under attack from Charlie Wirtz. Spinner's car comes back on the truck in the background. Disappointing run for the Sicilian. This is the Roman, Valerio Rinicella. Pole position at Zuera in 2020 in the European Kart Racing Championships. The AKM Motorsport car. As Kasper comes across the line, we'll check the gap back to Ugo, former Kart Republic driver in WSK World Kart Racing. The gap was 1.5 seconds, it stays the same. So this we expect to be the penultimate lap now, waiting for confirmation from race control. Conrad drops back to 3rd place. You see the AF Corsa logo on the Dane's helmet, making his debut in the Ferrari Challenge in 2022 as well. Martinez, WSK Supermasters Series Kart Racing champion from a couple of seasons ago. Close to the back of Conrad, so the Scandinavian battle here, the Norwegian behind the Dane, gets the tow as they race down the back straight. In the background, Maya having to defend from Marcus in position 8. She goes defensive. Amand sends it down the inside. Maya's awake to it. There's William Carlson, great drive from the Swede as Valentin Plus up the inside and takes Emo, who runs off the road and loses a place. Zachary David, Valerio Rinicella and Taylor Barnard. What a comeback. Taylor's up into 15th place. Antonelli is still circulating. He's down in 24th. As Rinicella now has to defend and does so just ahead of Emo Fittipaldi Jr. So this will be the last lap of the race. They're about to start now. There's Charlie Wirtz, looking for a strong run in race 4, at least this afternoon in his home round of the series. The 4th generation racer, have to correct that. His father Alex, of course, racing here in the past. His grandfather and his great-grandfather, the 4th generation racer, the 2nd of the Wirtz brothers here at the circuit that his father, his grandfather have been involved with so much over the decades. But Kasper Stuka out front on lap 16. The gap, 1.46 seconds. Alexander Partishev abusing track limits. Well, he was hit the grass without a front wing earlier on. I'm not sure it was for that, but either way, a forgettable race for the Ukrainian. Out front, the pole started from the 2nd row of the grid. The forecast rain has not eventuated. Kasper Stuka looking for victory here this morning. A fantastic, intelligent drive. The 2 leaders, Antonelli and Barnard, taking themselves out. Stuka picking up the pieces, driving by the carnage and pulling away from the rest of the field. The US racing on what is as close as possible to their home round of the series. A victory yesterday with Alex Dunn in race 1. Race 3 here this morning. The pole in car 37 comes through the Jochen curves for the final time. The checkered flag is about to wave. Kasper Stuycker takes victory in race 3 here at the Red Bull Ring. Superb effort from Kasper. Another victory for US Racing. Ugo across the line in P2. There's the battle further back between William Carlson, who finishes in position 10 ahead of Valentin Plus just. Stuycker takes the win. Ugo P2. And Conrad home on the podium in 3rd place. What a race, what a frantic race it was here this morning on Sunday, September 11. The 5th round of the championship at the most picturesque circuit in the world. This is the race winner, Kasper Stuycker, and this is the winning team. And Gerhard even does smile. Congratulations to Gerhard and the entire US Racing team. Their boy, their driver, Kasper Stuycker, a fine victory here this morning. Leads home the Prema Power team, who have virtually now locked up the team's championship again for 2022. But Kasper Stuycker takes victory in race 3 of 4 here this weekend in Austria. "16 laps completed, 2 safety car interventions in the end. The margin was 1.3 seconds. Kasper Stuycker, the Polish driver for the German team here in Austria, wins race 3 of round 5 of the Italian Championship. Ugo home in 2nd place, Conrad on the podium 3rd, Martinius P4 from grid 15, Nikita P5, Charlie Wirtz, Nikhil Border, Maya Werg, Marcus Amand and William Carlson in position 10. Valentin Plus, Zachary David, Taylor Barnard recovers to 13th, so get some points out of that as we look to race 4 this afternoon. Emo Fittipaldi from grid 21 to 14th ahead of Victoria Blochina. Kim Wa-Reng Valerio drops back to 17th at the flag, ahead of Giorgio Marco Giannis, whose teammates smacked the wall earlier into the race. Frasinetti, Ethan Aisha, Lund, Ahmed, Antonelli does finish down in 23rd place. Then it was Soldovini, another finish, his 2nd ever car race for Mafri Racing this morning, ahead of Alexander Partishev, who had a race to forget. P1 for the pole. Kasper Stuycker, another victory in 2022. So the grid is now set. Don't forget, this afternoon, race 4. We have raced 3 times this weekend. They've been effectively heat races. And the final 36 out of 40 entrants here for the 5th round of the championship. Almost a record in the series. Congratulations to Ugo in 2nd place with an intelligent drive after falling back to P5. As we take a look at the highlights of how Kasper wins race 3 this morning. From pole position, a smart getaway from Antonelli. Barnard was looking really racy as well. Up into 3rd place, would go up into 2nd and briefly take the lead, but it would soon go all wrong for the Englishman. Antonelli pulling away. Kasper Stuycker on the charge as Conrad centred down the inside, taking not one, but 2 drivers in one corner. This brought out the first safety car, Jane Rishab, crashing into the wall in spectacular fashion. The car was destroyed. The driver was okay. At the restart, Antonelli pulled away, but a brilliant restart from Taylor Barnard. He stayed with the Italian, went up the outside. They were side by side up the hill. The front right wing running into the back of Antonelli's left rear Pirelli, which was punctured, and the championship leader was in the gravel and would have to pit for a new tyre. Taylor Barnard was a sitting duck with no front wing. Kasper Stuka drove on by and would pull away to take victory. Alfio Spinner, second DNF for the Sicilian, coming together with Charlie Burtz. That brought out the safety car for the second time as Conrad and Ugo went wheel to wheel for second and third places, with the American getting the better of the Dane in the dying stages. Out front, Kasper Stuka takes another victory in 2022, winning race 3 for US Racing by 1.3 seconds. Race 4 to take place later this afternoon at 20 minutes past 5 local time here at the Red Bull Ring. We pray it's on a dry circuit. But that's an optimistic thought. The podium for race 3 in position 3, Conrad Larsen, the Dane for the Prema Power team. Second after falling back to P5. Second race in the Italian Championship. The American Ugo Ugochukwu on the top step of the podium from Poland for the German US Racing team. Kasper Stuka takes victory in race 3 here at the Red Bull Ring. Mr. Luca Dodono, the president of WSK Promotion, presenting the third place trophy to Conrad, second place to Ugo, and P1 to Kasper for US Racing. We have raced 3 times this weekend. We have now set the grid for the final 36 for later this afternoon. Kasper Stuka from Poland wins race 3 here at the Red Bull Ring. We'll see you for race 4 this afternoon.